In this video, we will guide you on how to teach the investigation of area and perimeter of 2D shapes. Learners must be able to use appropriate formulae to calculate the perimeter and area of squares, rectangles, and triangles. We will start by introducing the concept of perimeter. You may begin with a fun activity. Provide each learner with a sheet of paper with a shape drawn on it. Let them lay a piece of string or wool along the edge of the shape and cut the string or wool where it meets the starting point. Tell them by measuring the length of the string, they would have determined the perimeter of the shape on the piece of paper. Do they know how to describe what perimeter is? Tell them that the perimeter is the distance around the shape or object. Tell the learners that in maths, we often need to calculate the perimeter of a shape or object. For example, let's calculate the total distance that a person would travel if he had to walk along the edge of an open field ending where he has started. Let's imagine the field being the shape depicted on the screen. The distance of each side is 10 meters. The total distance that the person will travel will be the sum of the length of each side. In other words, 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is equal to 50 meters. Explain to the learners that the 50 meters he has traveled is called the perimeter of the shape. It shows us that perimeter is the absolute shortest distance possible around a shape. You can do the following fun activity with your learners to illustrate that perimeter is one-dimensional. Give groups of learners 3 pencils. Let them use the pencils to make a triangle. After having made the triangle, they must put the 3 pencils into a single line, measure it, and the length of the 3 pencils will be equal to the perimeter of the triangle. Emphasize to the learners that distance or length around a geometric shape is measured in units of length, millimeters, centimeters, meters, etc. Explain to the learners that to measure the perimeter of a triangle, we only need to add the lengths of the 3 sides. 3 centimeters plus 4 centimeters plus 5 centimeters equals 12 centimeters. The unit of length is very important and must always be indicated. Tell learners that size matters, and to make sure that everyone knows the size of the object, they must use the correct unit of measurement, such as millimeters for a ring, centimeters for a cell phone, meters for a schoolyard, kilometers for the perimeter of a town. Explain to learners that to measure the perimeter of a rectangle, they should measure the 2 short sides and 2 longer sides. They can add the sides in any order. The 2 short sides, 5 meters plus 5 meters equals 10 meters. The 2 longer sides, 10 meters plus 10 meters equals 20 meters. The perimeter is a total of 10 meters plus 20 meters, which equals 30 meters. Remember that the unit is important. Explain to learners that polygons are shapes with straight sides. We therefore only need to add the sides to find the perimeter of a polygon. For example, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20 centimeters. Remind your learners that all sides of a polygon are the same length. Where all the sides are the same length, we can either add the sides or multiply the number of sides with the length of the side. It can be either 4 centimeters plus 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 4 centimeters, which equals 24 centimeters. Or 6 centimeters times 4 centimeters equals 24 centimeters. Remember that multiplication is repeated addition. Next, learners will be introduced to the concept of area. Ask them to think about the field of which they had to calculate the perimeter earlier on. If the perimeter is the shortest possible distance around the field, what would the area be? The area is the space occupied by a flat shape or the surface of an object. Tell learners that in mathematics, the area of a figure is the number of unit squares that cover the surface of a closed figure. The surface area of that figure or shape is a square, and it is measured as a squared centimeter. Centimeters times centimeters is referred to as centimeters squared. We will now concentrate on how to teach learners to measure the areas of two-dimensional shapes by making use of formulas. Tell learners that area is measured in square units, such as square millimeters, square centimeters, and square meters. To calculate the area of a square, we must multiply the length of the one side, 1 centimeter, by the length of the other side, 1 centimeter. The answer of the area on the slide is 1, so we state our answer as 1 square centimeter. The area of a rectangle is equal to the length of the rectangle multiplied by the width of the rectangle. The area of the rectangle on the screen is 2 centimeters multiplied by 4 centimeters and is equal to 8 square centimeters. Learners must be taught that in order to determine the area of a triangle, they must use the formula for determining the area of a rectangle, which is the length multiplied by the width of the rectangle. In the rectangle above, the area is 12 square meters. If we imagine the rectangle as two halves, we can see that it consists of two triangles. Each triangle is equal to half of a rectangle, so half of 12 square meters is 6 square meters. If we had to find a formula for calculating the area of a triangle, we know that it must be equal to half the area of a rectangle. In other words, the formula would be half of the length multiplied by width. The length of the rectangle on the screen is the base of the triangle, and the width of the rectangle is the height of the triangle. Please emphasize to learners that a triangle consists of a base and height, not length and breadth. So, to write the formula, we state the area of any triangle is equal to half the base of the triangle multiplied by the height of the triangle. In our example, the base equals 4 centimeters and the height equals 3 centimeters. Therefore, the area of the triangle is 6 square centimeters. We have now reached the end of our discussion of mathematical content for this session. Let us conclude the session with another interesting Winnie the Pooh quote. You can't stay in your corner of the forest waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometimes. On the next slide, we have provided links to relevant worksheets and online content. Please remember once again to complete the quiz at the end of this video. Our last video, the conclusion, will provide you with a list of evidence to be submitted for completion of this workshop.